We'll look at some of today's campaign activities in New Hampshire from WMUR-TV in Manchester.
The New Hampshire primary countdown is at 2 days. In these final hours, the candidates are going town to town, meeting every voter they can, pushing to capture their votes. Good evening, New Hampshire. Welcome to this special hour-long edition of News 9 at 6.
There is a shift again tonight among the top-tier candidates just hours after this historic scene on the stage of St. Anselm College when the two parties crossed paths and shook hands in between their separate battles to grab votes.
And the debate impact can be seen in these late-breaking exclusive WMUR CNN tracking poll results. Check out the change in the Democratic primary. Yesterday, it was tied at the top, 33% for Hillary Clinton, 33% for Barack Obama. Today, Obama has exploded into a double-digit 10-point lead, 39-29 over Clinton. John Edwards is back in the mid-teens. Voters in this poll telling us change is more important than experience. On the Republican side, it was a 6-point lead for John McCain before the debates. It's a 6-point lead after the debates. McCain, 32, Mitt Romney, 26, and Iowa winner Mike Huckabee is third with 14%. Rudy Giuliani is fourth now with 11%, and Ron Paul is right behind with 10%. We will have one more set of numbers tomorrow. Then New Hampshire voters will have the final word.
And our team of reporters spent the day right alongside the candidates out on the campaign trail. We begin with the new Democratic frontrunner and Tiffany Eddy live in Salem.
Well, Jennifer, we're right outside Salem High School where inside Senator Barack Obama is addressing a very large crowd. We've been following the senator all day long. This is his fourth campaign stop of the day. They've all been very large venues. And we spoke to some of the people in the crowd and asked what it was that brought them out. And many told us they wanted an opportunity to catch a glimpse at the man who they believe will be the next president. Hours before his first rally, lines started forming outside Manchester's Palace Theater. People waiting outside for over an hour to hear Senator Obama speak.
It is time to stand up for change we can believe in. That's what New Hampshire you can do in 2 days' time.
The senator referred to last night's debate and how he's been teased for talking about hope.
One of my opponents said, we can't just, offer the American people false hopes.
At Exeter High School, over 3,000 turned out. So many, the campaign had to direct hundreds more into an overflow room. As the senator continued on his message of hope, he also talked about education and foreign policy.
In New Hampshire, the people understand what John F. Kennedy said when he said, we should never negotiate out of fear, but we should never fear to negotiate.
In an exclusive sit-down interview with the senator, he talked about the response he's getting from New Hampshire voters leading into Tuesday's critical primary.
You can see how hungry people are for a politics that's not petty, that's not trivializing things, that's not trying to score cheap political points, but is trying to inspire people and maybe get something done.
And from here, the senator has one more stop today, and that will be out in Keene. Tomorrow, he plans to stop in Claremont, Lebanon, and in Rochester. Reporting live in Salem, I'm Tiffany Eddy, WMUR News 9.
Running second now, Senator Hillary Clinton went door-to-door on the north side of Manchester. The senator hoping to get voters to focus on what's become the very popular campaign issue, change. Scott Spradling followed her on the trail today and has more on her message. Scott.
Good evening, Jen. Well, we heard about it all last night on the debate stage. It was change versus experience. Today on the campaign trail down in Nashua, the senator challenged her rivals, saying that they aren't the agents of change they claim to be.
With daughter Chelsea by her side, Hillary Clinton stepped on stage in Nashua, hoping to separate, as she says, the rhetoric from reality. Making the case she's the candidate of real change, Clinton had this zinger for John Edwards.
If you say that you passed the patient's Bill of Rights, but you forget to add it never got signed into law, that's not change.
And she offered this for rival Barack Obama, whose message of change won the Iowa caucuses.
If you gave a speech, and a very good speech, against the war in Iraq, and by 2005, 6, and 7, you vote for $300 billion for the war you said you were against, that's not change.
It's a critical argument, especially trying to convince those who still sit firmly on the fence of this tight Democratic primary. Clinton pointed to her own work to expand children's health insurance and double adoptions. The senator insisted she is the real change agent. Diane Chapman came to this rally undecided. Now she's with Hillary.
Rather than just to, lead everybody on with a speech that inspires, she actually is able to follow through with what she's going to do and how she's going to make it work.
And Hillary Clinton was focusing on that exact thought. She said you campaign with poetry, but you lead with prose. And she's now banking on New Hampshire voters doing one final double check of what all of the Democratic rivals really accomplished in terms of change. Reporting live in Manchester, Scott Spradling, WMUR News 9.
And Senator John Edwards continued his message of change today, piggybacking on Barack Obama and setting his aim at Hillary Clinton. Edwards made his first appearance of the day at the Franco-American Center in Manchester, telling the crowd that he and Obama are the two legitimate candidates for change. He says Clinton isn't.
That choice, that decision between two change candidates is something we need to be able to have, a debate between those two candidates in an unfiltered way so that the rest of America and New Hampshire is able to see what choices they have.
Now, Edwards never mentioned Senator Clinton by name during the hour-long event. This was the kickoff of his 36-hour straight final push through the state.
To the Republicans now, and we told you John McCain is holding a 6-point lead over Mitt Romney in our new poll. Today, each went after voters at traditional town hall meetings. Gene Mackin and Kriya Sakakini are covering them. We begin with Kriya, who is live tonight at St. Anselm College.
That's right, Jen. Well, Senator John McCain's town hall meeting began with a bit of an awkward moment when some AIDS activists stole the spotlight. The senator did take a question from the group and other voters. Attention was on the decline of jobs in the U.S., education, and health care. McCain seemed very aware independents are still trying to decide who to vote for. And for some, the decision isn't between McCain and Romney or McCain and the other Republicans.
I'm told that there's a lot of voters that are wavering between me and Senator Obama. I'm kind of pleased that the independents have narrowed it down to a choice of two.
Now, Senator McCain said the differences between the two are vast. It's not just a matter of conservative versus liberal. Senator McCain says he's the one with more experience. For now, reporting live on St. A's, Kriya Sakakini, WMUR News 9.
All right, thank you, Kriya. Now we go to Gene Mackin. She's in the newsroom. She spoke to former Governor Mitt Romney today. Gene?
Well, Tom, Mitt Romney took some swipes at John McCain, telling the crowd that a Washington insider can't win the White House and can't get the job done. At a campaign stop inside a Nashua school cafeteria, Romney said he's the Washington outsider, stressing his experience as governor and running the Olympics. He said in a time when Americans are demanding change, he's the only Republican candidate who can defeat the Democrats in the general election and bring change to the federal government. He also admitted that he's in a close primary race with John McCain.
Absolutely. Only 2 days left. It's got to be a battle to the finish. I think it's going to be too close to call. I'm excited about the prospects of winning. Good to see you.
And coming up later, hear what Mitt Romney plans to do in the hours leading up to the primary to win over New Hampshire voters. Live in the newsroom, Gene Mackin, WMUR News 9.